What player's been most exciting? What are we most thankful for? We put down our leftovers to dish out some Thanksgiving superlatives. What's your go-to side dish on the big day?
I don't know if it's my go-to, but it's time to put some respect on green bean casserole's name.
You are Locked On Heat, your daily Miami Heat podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, and welcome to a special Thanksgiving episode of Locked On Heat, your daily podcast on the Miami Heat, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. You know, we're thankful for that, whether you're tuning in on YouTube or in your favorite podcast app. Thanks for making Locked On Heat your first listen every day. Join the Cookie Gang and become an everydayer. That means subscribing, tuning in every day, Monday through Friday, and signing up on the Locked On Heat text line with the link in the show notes. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. I'm Wes Goldberg, host of Locked On NBA Daily and Real GM Radio. I'm here with David Ramil. Both of us are credentialed Heat media members who cover this team every day. Happy HEATSGIVING, everybody. It's our special Thanksgiving episode. We got a bunch of fun stuff to get to. We'll talk about some Thanksgiving Day awards for so far in the season. Then we'll talk about some leftovers, good and not so good. But we're going to start with thankful or not. It's a series of questions I'm going to ask you, David. Are we thankful about these things? Or are we not so thankful about these things? The first one, are we thankful for the current starting lineup, David?
I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. I mean, I know it's had its ups and downs. It's kind of a hard question to answer because even this iteration of the Heat, as fun and exciting and as successful as they've been early on in the season, they've still gone through a number of changes. Some Davion, no Davion, some Norm, no Norm, Bam, etc. No Tyler for most of the season. And yet it's worked. And I think it's more a testament to Erik Spoelstra and what he's been able to do, the strength of this roster and its overall depth, as well as this new system that has made things so exciting. So am I thankful for the starting lineup? Whatever that starting lineup might be, I'm glad that they're playing at the pace that they are, the way that they are, because it's made this season the most fun that it's been in a long time.
They've had 6 starting lineups so far this season. Only 2 of them have a losing record. They lost the only game where they started Bam, Nico, Davion, Norm Powell, and Andrew Wiggins, interestingly enough. And they lost 2 games, 1-1, so they're 1-2, with Bam, Pelle Larsson, Davion Mitchell, Kel'el Ware, and Andrew Wiggins. So when Norm Powell missed some time when they struggled there. Other than that, they have winning records with all their other starting lineups, including the one that we saw Monday night with Tyler Herro in it. We are, full disclosure, recording this on Tuesday before Wednesday night's game against the Milwaukee Bucks. So we don't really know what the starting lineup is going to look like Wednesday, with Norm Powell likely to return, Tyler Herro obviously back in the lineup. So there's some questions still. I know Andrew Wiggins is questionable for that game, so we'll see whether or not he plays and obviously his impact on the starting lineup. So I don't really know what the current starting lineup is, but I'm grateful for the lineups so far. I guess the bigger question is, David, like, are we grateful for whatever the projected starting lineup is? And I don't know that I am. I guess I am from a content perspective because we keep talking about it, but I don't know what Erik Spoelstra's ideal starting lineup is going to be.
Do we have to? Like, I mean, maybe for the purpose of this question, but I think part of what makes this team so strong, even heading into the season, you look at the team's overall depth and what they were capable of, and that's why a lot of people were kind of assessing this group somewhat negatively because they do lack that top tier start. Yeah, that might be the case, but 1 through 9 is a pretty damn good combination of players, talents, and abilities. And that being the case, I think whoever starts for whatever reason, well, it's due to injury or because it's more matchup based, or maybe it's just on a whim by Erik Spoelstra. He just feels something in the air. I think it works. And so I don't really care too much about who's starting or who's not, because I think we're going to see different iterations of this group throughout the course of the game. And it's all about that closing lineup. And even more so, it's all about the wins, and this team is winning. So I'm not looking too closely at anything.
Who's in Sharpie in your starting lineup? That said, like, who has to be part of it no matter what?
It has to be Powell. It has to be Bam. It has to be Tyler. And other than that, I probably have Wiggs in there with very strong ink. Like, he's just too accomplished a player, and honestly has been really good as their floor raiser this season. So I think you've got 4 starters absolutely in Sharpie. and then everybody else is kind of just like, yeah, sure, I could see them giving a blow. I could see
Yeah.
Jaime getting a couple of opportunities out there, even though he's been good off the bench. Pella has been great as a starter. Davion for sure. Kel'el, I don't see why not.
Yep, I have to agree with you. Thankful or not, are we thankful for the new offensive system?
100%. 100%. How many times, and this isn't like us bemoaning what we do here, but how many times, even after wins, did we have to try to find something exciting to say about a group? It was like, oh, another 91-88 barn burner. And that's just, it was stressful. I don't know how many times I went on here. I was like, man, I just want to blow out. I just want to remember what that feels like to have a 20-point lead and not see it erase in the fourth quarter so that I can relax and just start putting my notes together before the fourth quarter starts and not have to like, how many times did we see everybody on Media Row kind of have a story that was like 50%
Control
done?
delete.
Yeah, it like, doesn't matter.
Anthony Chang with his crunch time tweets just over and over again. It's I'm with you, man. Like, not only like beyond just this segment that we put together here. If my family goes around the table on Thanksgiving and says, "What are you thankful for this year?" I had a daughter this year who I love very much. She might be number 2 on the list. Number 1 is this offensive system, because I do this on a daily basis. I have to talk about this team. I am so thankful that this team is freaking fun to watch and exciting. And what's the thing I always told you, David, about the Heat's offense last year that always bothered me, and I thought was an essential flaw to that team? It's close your eyes, crunch time. What does this Heat offense look like? And last year, you had no idea what it looked like. You had no idea. This year, when you close your eyes, you know exactly what this Heat offense is going to look like. It's breakneck pace, driving down the lane, trying to get to the rim, guys spreading out to corners, the wheel on the offense, all that stuff. You know exactly what this looks like. This team has a clear identity. It's fun to talk about, not only for us locally, but nationally. They've been one of the best stories in the league because they've just done a complete 180 in terms of league pass ranking, how you watch them, and however you want to phrase it.
100%. They've been great to watch. I love the fact that teams are talking about, fans and media are talking about this Heat team in a way that no other Heat group has been talked about. It was the zombie Heat. It's like, oh, you know what you're going to get with Jimmy Butler.
The regular season didn't matter. They just they rise from the dead in the playoffs. I'm like, that sucked, dude. We have to talk about this team all regular season. I want them to care about it a little bit.
Yeah. It's fun that you're enjoying this version during the playoffs, but try being there for a February game against the Charlotte Hornets, brother. Let me tell you, not fun.
Thankful or not, are we thankful for Tyler Herro's return this week?
You know what? I am. I feel like I've done a complete different, not a 180 necessarily, because I've never really had a problem with Boy Wonder. Because I was there for the beginning, his first season here in Miami, and watching him grow and become the player he has been, and all the off the court stuff that's always been there. I'm at a point now where Tyler has just been like, I want to see him be embraced by this fan base, and I think he is, but I think it's also he's such a weird kind of inflection point for fandom. Like, oh, is he good? Is he not good? Is he a star? Is he a not star? I'm not going to care about that anymore. He's going to contribute. He's going to help this team win. He's going to be good. And I don't have to look at it through the lens of expectations anymore. I know that he's going to be good because he's always been good. And as such, I appreciate who he is out there. And I think he's a part of this team that helps define the team. Because you know what? Despite how you feel about anything else about Tyler Herro, whether he's a superstar, whether he misses too much time, whether he was a deserving all-star, whether the team should trade him, all the different questions that have bogged him down for 7 years, you know what does it? It's the fact that he is a hard-ass working effort. And that has always been the case. Like, he is, if you don't like it, he is Heat culture in his own way, because he is a hard worker who always comes to do the very best he can. And that's why the team took him, and that's why the team refuses to trade him, and that's why he's continued to thrive, is because he has helped push Heat culture like a lot of other players have throughout the team's history.
Frankly, it's why I always defend him.
Yeah.
The work ethic, I just respect it.
Top notch.
If you have that level of work ethic, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to respect you. And there's been other players who don't have that. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt. And you can read in between the lines and figure out who I'm talking about sometimes. Like I'm pretty transparent with this stuff, but it's not my opinion. It's just this is what they do. And for Tyler, I think the way that he's developed in his time in Miami, from a guy who was essentially just a spot up microwave scorer to a high level version of that as a 6 man of the year, a guy who ended up running a ton of pick and roll, who ended up last year changing his game and adopting a Steph Curry like shot chart. And then midway through the season, Jimmy Butler, all that stuff happened. And then his Spo goes to him and says, hey, we actually need you to do just all of it now. It can't just be a Steph Curry shot chart. We need you to get back in pick and roll. We need you to take over the mid range every once in a while. And then he did that. I have a lot of respect for it. I'm obviously thankful that he's back. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I think it's a great story. And I'm with you, man. I hope we get to a point where Heat fans don't become the best fan base at hating players on their own team, because it's what they've been for a long time. And with how fun this team is to watch, it feels like some of that stuff should be shedding away here. We hand out some Thanksgiving Day awards after this.
Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. So many different storylines that you might want to look into. We talked about it in our last episode about different awards that this team might qualify. Is Bam a Defensive Player of the Year candidate? Is Erik Spoelstra finally going to win a Head Coach of the Year? Is Jaime Jaquez a shoo-in for the six-man award? Well, you can place a little wager on that on FanDuel, because right now FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up, and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We'll be right back.
Thanks for making Locked On Heat your first listen of the day. Thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network. We are thankful for that. Let's get to some Thanksgiving awards. Our Heatsgiving awards, rather, David. I want to start with the Turkey Leg Award. This is the MVP. This is the meatiest, most satisfying player so far. And for me, I think this answer is obvious, although maybe a bit surprising. It's got to be Jaime Jaquez Jr.
I disagree. There. So give me your take on why. You want to explain that? Go into any kind of depth as to why it's Jaime?
Well, it's not your usual MVP, right? We're going to reserve that for the end of the season. This is the Turkey Leg Award. And again, the meatiest, most satisfying player so far. Has there been anybody more satisfying than Jaime Jaquez Jr. this year? I mean, he is the main dish, the thing you're waiting for every Heat game, right? Your mouth is just salivating, waiting for Jaime Jaquez Jr. to check in halfway through the first quarter every single night, because you just can't wait to see what he's going to do. He's easily the turkey leg.
I could see it. I'm personally not a fan of the leg anyway, so I could see it. You're
not a fan of the leg?
No.
I know you're a tofurkey.
Oh, yeah.
But in general, what's the better part of the turkey, tofu or poultry?
It's the turkey breast, I think, right? I mean, if it's cooked right.
So you're a white meat guy, not a dark meat guy.
Yeah.
I respect it. I actually agree with you. I prefer the turkey breast with some skin, obviously. I have family members who just make sure that they're first in line for the turkey leg. I'm like, you can have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's more about what it represents, David.
I get that. No, but it's just, I also
Turkey
think
breast award doesn't sound quite as good.
No. I think I don't know that he's the most satisfying player. Like, I think there is another category here that we're going to get into in a second that I think that might be more for in Jaime's
who's getting
value.
your turkey leg then? I gave my turkey leg
to me,
to
it's
Jaime.
Norm Powell. To me, it's Norm Powell. Because I just like his showing. The fact that he's punching people in the face right there in the first quarter and has been so good in providing that kind of defining moment for this Heat team, like in the first quarter. He goes out there and immediately pull-up jumper, attacking the rim, three-pointer from 25 feet out. Like these guys, he sets the tone for the game. So it's great that Jaime comes in there in relief minutes off the bench, not taking anything away from him at all. But to me, watching Norm kind of carry this team the way he has, I think has been the highlight of the season for me. Because he's doing it not just in the first, but he's also doing it in the fourth too, when it matters most.
Maybe it's helpful here to lay out all of the awards for our listeners, and then they can kind of fill in the blanks as we kind of go along with them. So we just did our turkey leg award. Next, we're going to do our mashed potatoes award. It's the most reliable player or whatever so far. We'll have our cranberry sauce award for most underappreciated, and then we're going to have our jive turkey award for the most frustrating trend. So my mashed potato award goes to Norm Powell.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Just most reliable, always shows up. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. It's not going to be worse. It's not going to be that much better. I don't expect Norm Powell to go off for 50 this season, although he could. But he's just 24 to 30 points every single night. It's like a metronome, man. He's just, it's rhythmic. It's every single game. He's going to come out hot in the first quarter. He's going to finish strong, to your point, in the fourth quarter. Norm Powell's mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of use that same logic to apply to Jaime. Like he comes off the bench and he attacks the rim. Maybe he'll have a 3-pointer. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll get a couple and ones. Maybe he won't. But either way, you know more or less what you're getting from Jaime. It's high level. It's fun production off the bench.
So you're going Jaime mashed potatoes?
I think so. You can make a strong case either way. You can flip them.
You could flip the two awards, right? You could. Some people think mashed potatoes are the MVP of Thanksgiving. There's a lot of people that say mashed potatoes is their favorite dish on Thanksgiving. So
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Our cranberry sauce award goes to our most underappreciated player. Not always the star on the table, but dinner is not complete without it. I wonder if we're going the same way here, but I'm giving my cranberry sauce award to Bam Adebayo.
Ooh.
It's not Thanksgiving without cranberry sauce. It's not the Miami Heat without Bam Adebayo. Without cranberry sauce, you're just eating turkey. You're just eating turkey and potatoes. You could have that any day of the year. It's when it's Thanksgiving because there's cranberry sauce on the table. It's the Miami Heat because Bam Adebayo's on the court.
I hate cranberry sauce. I have no idea what person. Yeah, I have no idea what person was devious enough to think, yeah, you know what, this is a good sign.
I enjoy it.
Well, there you have it.
With a little ham, with a little turkey, you can even mix it into the mashed potatoes a little bit. It's good. By itself is kind of crazy to have. I don't know that anybody just scoops it into their mouth by itself, but it's a condiment.
I guess. I don't know. So is gravy, right? I mean, like,
put it all on the plate, man. I just got a whole mess of stuff.
Let it all together.
I go slop strategy on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You take bread, no bread. Do you go Latino style at all?
King's Hawaiian roll. King's Hawaiian roll.
You can't go.
But there's also potatoes. I carb load.
Latino?
I go stuffing.
You go like rice and beans or anything like that?
Yep.
At your Thanksgiving? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have the two Thanksgivings, right? I have my white gringo American Thanksgiving, and then at night we have the later Thanksgiving at the Colombian household, and then that's all
over the place then.
Yeah, I mean, it's the rice and beans. It's still turkey. It's a lot of turkey.
Well, cranberry sauce doesn't belong at either table, so I can't do that to Pam. But in the spirit of the award, I think I have two players I had in mind. One was Andrew Wiggins, but I think I'm ultimately going with Davion Mitchell. Like he's just been that good. Mm-hmm. That I don't think a lot of people appreciate. Like he was the spark plug last year. It was like, oh, who is this Davion Mitchell person? Like a lot of fans had no idea who this Davion Mitchell was. He joins the team. He's not the centerpiece of the trade. You have some spot minutes for Kyle Anderson, who's he's unique in his own approach to the league, and then Wiggins was disappointing. Not great maybe, and of course there's still the hangover of Jimmy not being part of the team. But who knows who makes it fun was Mitchell. This season, it's like, wow, I don't know that he's being regarded the same way. It's about the team offense. It's about the scoring punch. It's about everything else. And I think he's kind of being overlooked and taken for granted. So that's how I saw it.
It's a great selection. Last one here, Jive Turkey Award. This goes to the most frustrating trend. David, this one to me was really easy. It's injuries. Why can't we see this team whole? I want to see it whole. That's all.
Can I say most frustrating trend? I agree with the injuries. I think it's just going to happen. I think a lot of these things are minor that players could probably play through, but why bother, especially when you're playing at this breakneck speed?
Mm-hmm.
Udonis Haslam made a great point on Amazon Prime, like that it was unbelievable to believe that players in the 80s played at the same pace that players in today's game are playing at without any of the conditioning, without any of the just the added things like the shoes, the special gear. None of that was available to them. They would just slap on a pair of Converse and run up and down for 48 minutes. It's crazy to think that way. So I think maybe that's a little mental also, and maybe it's a lot of the whole AAU thing going on where the specialized training and just one sport kind of takes away from different muscle groups as they develop, etc. So injuries certainly. You know what's a bothersome trend for me? A frustrating trend? The same rinse and repeat with Nikola Jovic. Every summer, believing in what he can do and what this is the year. This is the year. This is like the third year in a row that we've done this. And I'm guilty of it, and I won't do it anymore. So, whatever Nico accomplishes over the course of the season, I'm happy for him, but I will not be an off-season believer or hyper ever again. At this point, he's got to get himself another hype man because I'm not gonna do it.
The best part of Thanksgiving is the leftovers. Let's talk about that next.
Today's episode is brought to you by DoorDash. The NBA season's heating up, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights, your fantasy team, or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired trip, exclusive gear, and stuff that you'll actually want. And it's not just food. You can get everything from snacks to drinks to headphones, ice, even socks, all delivered. And they've got you covered for late night highlight watching parties, or, let's say you're getting together and watching that big game on TV, or maybe it's just a quiet night of going through the whole NBA slate. Well, guess what? DoorDash has you covered. Next time someone goes off for 50, use the promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the bag drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off up to $10 a day after a 50-point game with the promo code. Terms do apply. No purchase necessary, and it ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash, in your bag all season long. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Locked On Heat. It's time to finish up our HEATSGIVING episode with some leftovers. What's still on Miami's plate before we get into our questions here, David? What is the proper Thanksgiving leftover strategy here? Are you sandwiches the next day? What are we saving? What are you not so interested in? Like, what's your Thanksgiving leftover strategy?
I've kind of go just directly, just part two. You know what? Everything that I enjoyed the first night, why not have it again the next day? Now, I'm finding this to be an interesting debate, though. Also, Miami does its own thing. I know that Miami is its own different country than the rest of the United States.
Correct.
What is appropriate time for Thanksgiving dinner? Because I tend to think I'm more of the Americanized style of like a 2 p.m. start so that you can just pick at it for the rest of the day, take a nap, recharge, watch football, whatever it is that you're into on Thanksgiving Day. Like you start off early so you can go for a longer period of time. Where do you fit into that? Okay.
Yeah, I'm more marathon versus over sprint. That's where I'm at. Start it early. I'll get a big heaping plate at first, and then I'll make some room later on, and then I'm picking at it throughout the rest of the day. I'll go a little bit more ham here. You know what? I could do a little bit of stuffing over here at 4:30, and like a little bit here and there, right? I'm with you. I actually made the mistake the first year that I was with my wife.
Rookie mistake.
I didn't. It was that classic Latin Thanksgiving situation where they served it at like 9 p.m. It was like 10 p.m. or something. So I was told, hey, don't fill up on first Thanksgiving because we're gonna have second Thanksgiving. I was like, all right. Like, so I had like a 50% of what I normally eat on first Thanksgiving at my parents' house, and then we went to her parents' house, and I was starving. You should never be starving on Thanksgiving. You should be the opposite of that. You should be, I can't eat another bite, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, that's pie? Okay. Like I'll make
Sure, I'll
some
try
room.
some.
Like yeah, like, I was like legitimately starving by 8 p.m. I'm like, what is I was about to drive back to my house, just get some leftovers, come back, and then have the first serving of the other one.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
but yeah, that's I'm team middle of the day, and I think that's the right way to do it.
I agree.
Uh, Speaking of leftovers, what's still on the Miami Heat's plate after HEATSGIVIng? Leftover number one. What storyline isn't going away after Thanksgiving? This could be injuries, trade rumors, stats, anything, any storyline. What's not going to be going away here, David? I have my answer if you want me to go first.
No, I just think the idea that this team isn't going to be very good. I think everybody's kind of waiting for the shoe to drop, and they might have enjoyed some early season success. Tyler, was an X factor. It's like, oh, do they win with him? Do they win without him? It's going to make it fun. But I don't know. At some point, the feels like the bloom is going to be off the rose, and people will kind of overlook what they were accomplishing there, especially if they just don't win at such a high level throughout the rest of the season. It is a long season. Injuries do happen. They might not be winning games at the same pace, and as such, people will lose interest. But I think they're going to be a dangerous team in the postseason.
I think the Tyler Herro storyline eventually goes away. I think we'll not right away, but we'll get within a month enough data to just be like, okay, this either works or it doesn't, or it changed or it didn't, or whatever it is. I think the storyline that's not going away is whether or not the Heat need to make a trade for a star. Because if they're good, people are like, oh, can they get that next level with a star trade before the deadline? It'll go away after the deadline, but even after that, you start talking about the offseason. And if they're not so good, right, David, if they slip a little bit like you're talking about potentially here, then they'll be like, oh, do they need to make a trade to kind of juice things a little bit in Miami? So I don't think that's the storyline. I think that storyline will persist no matter what. Our second leftover, what's the one skill that the Heat must reheat and improve?
You know what? I'm going to go with 3-point shooting here. I think right now, okay, they're middle of the pack, and it's just such a big part of their offense, and it feels like Tyler's going to help. We didn't see it his first night, and again, full disclosure, we're recording this on Tuesday before his second game, so who knows how he does against the Milwaukee Bucks. But I just think that Miami is going to be reliant on that 3-point shot. It's going to help juice their offense to such a huge degree, and you kind of need that boost. So I'd like to see them more of a team that's closer to 40% than where they currently are at just over 37%. I mean, the Houston Rockets are ridiculous at 42% as a team for the season. Milwaukee, not too far off at 41%. So that's going to be a challenge for Miami as well.
I think those teams are going to cool off. And if Miami holds steady at 37%, they'll probably end up top 10-ish in 3-point shooting percentage. I was talking about but I think volume is another part of this. They're 22nd in the league in threes made per possession. I think you can't really. I don't think you could be bottom 10 in the league as good as they've been in the paint. The only way you could do this is if you're this in the paint, right? Denver is this, Oklahoma City is this, but Denver and Oklahoma City have Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. When things really hit the fan, they could throw the ball to those guys and go get a bucket. The Heat still don't have that guy. They're creating those points in the paint with this system, but if the system goes away, then I have questions, right? As good as Tyler Herro was on Monday, it was a lot of floaters, right? Those aren't necessarily points at the rim. And so where is that efficient offense going to come from when the game does inevitably slow down, whether it's on second nights of back-to-back, the way it was on Monday, or potentially even in the playoffs and his teams get a scout on this offense a little bit more? I don't want them to go so fully the other way where they end up doing a Boston Celtics thing where they say, or like what the Knicks are doing this year, where they say, well, actually, we're just not going to do anything in the paint anymore. We're going to give up all these points in the paint in order to create more threes. There's got to be a balance of it. If you do dial back the paint points a little bit and take a few more of those pull-up threes with Tyler Herro back in the lineup, it doesn't have to be a dramatic thing, but I just don't think you can be bottom 10. I don't think you'd be 22nd. I think you got to be a little bit closer to league average, and I think there's a way to do that. Maybe it's just as simple as making more of them, to your point.
Yeah.
Leftover number 3. What's a wild card that could spice things up in the next month?
Wow. I don't know. Like,
I'm going to go back
like
to your Jive Turkey. I'm going to Nikola Jovic. He could potentially spice things up in the next month. I mean, there is a world in which Nico figures it out, gets healthy, figures it out, is the guy off the bench that they need him to be, and we're talking about him like a difference maker, impact player again. You would think that this offense is perfect for Nico, the way that it's perfect for Jaime Jaquez Jr. I just can't help but still believe. I know you're Jive Turkey on him. I'm still a believer. I still can't help but believe that it's going to click for him at some point.
Yeah, I'm not exactly abandoning my decaying shanty on Niko Jovic Island, but it's not in the prime real estate it once was either. So I'd like to see it happen. I don't really have anything else that I think is going to spice it up. My thought with this category was that it's really about the backups, like seeing how that backup unit continues to flourish, because we don't know the starting lineup is kind of in state of flux. And you're gonna have players in and out, and so whoever does get relegated to the bench, whether it's somebody like Davion or somebody like Kel'el, however it is that it's going to play out, I want to see that backup group continue to shine. And so that's what to me might be the spicy addition or change to watch out for over the next month. And Niko could be a part of that.
He could be. Let's end today with our Heatsgiving toast. David, I'll go first. I'm going to lift up my glass of wine that I don't have yet. I'm thankful that the East is truly wide open in a way that we talked about it being wide open. It's even more open than we thought. But more than anything, I'm thankful for a team that's fun to watch while still representing those Heat culture-y things that we're familiar with. The best conditioned team, all of these things. Best condition does not mean anymore what it meant in the 90s when Pat Riley coined it. It doesn't mean bigger, stronger, nastier necessarily. It just means running faster, harder, longer, more often. And that's what this Heat team is. This is what it looks like now in the modern NBA, and I'm just grateful that we have a better idea of what this next era of Heat basketball can look like.
I'm thankful for this Heat team bringing the good vibes. Last season and the season even prior to that, maybe even the one prior to that too, they were dealing with a lot of things and a lot of on the court stuff, a lot of strife there. It was not it because it was all glossed over due to postseason success, or at least the tantalizing potential of postseason success. We kind of accepted it. This is different. I think even as a media day, we felt something palpable about this group looking for a restart, to bring something new and fresh and looking forward to with optimism that we hadn't seen in previous seasons. Because it was like, well, whatever, we didn't do what we were supposed to do over the summer. We didn't get the upgrade we were looking for. I guess we'll just go ahead and continue to find a way to get through the next 82 until the games actually matter, sort of thing. This is different. This team had something to prove, and they've just been so positive. And they're like, no better sign of that than Andrew Wiggins, who is not exactly a joyful person. I don't think he's necessarily dour, but he's not necessarily known for being joyful. But I've seen him laughing and smiling and having a great time out there on the court in a way that I don't think a lot of people expected him to. He seems happy. Norm Powell has been a breath of fresh air. And I think so many people appreciate what he's brought. Jaime is bringing some good vibes. Bam is bringing good vibes. Tyler's a good vibe guy all the time. Simone Fontecchio seems like he's enjoying his stint here. Like, even though he's struggled lately, like there's just positivity in the air in a way that I didn't expect. So I'm thankful for the good vibes in the Miami Heat locker room.
And of course, we're thankful to everybody who watches, listens, consumes the show, interacts with us online or in person even. So thank you to all of our fans, everybody who loves Locked On Heat. And of course, a special thanks to the everydayers. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, everybody.